Salut telespectatori. At least that's what Google said when I translated "hello viewers" from English to Romanian. I hope that was correct. I'm gonna feel pretty bad if it wasn't correct. But anyway, yes, welcome to the Romanian video, or the Romanian. We'll look at the Romanian faction in GZ. It's probably the best name of this video. So yeah, we're just gonna take a look at all the units that Romania has to offer in the German Soldiers mod for Men of War Squad 2. And as I've done in previous faction reviews or previous faction overviews, for example, I can already see a Panther here, and a Panzer, a Yak Panzer 4, and a Renault R35. So tanks like that, I will obviously not, take a look at in depth. Like I will just buy them, or I will not talk about them because I'm obviously going to talk about them. Or I've already talked about, for example, the R35 in their respective nation, in this case, France and Germany. France I've already had. Germany I will still discuss because I'm going to go over all the vanilla factions as well. This is Romania, obviously. The next country and the last non-vanilla country is going to be Hungary. And after that, I guess we're just going to do the 5 stock factions, so Japan, United States, the Commonwealth, Russia, and Germany, in a certain order. I'm not sure which order. I'll have to come up with that one. One thing I really want to say is something that I think is pretty funny. The Germans called the, for example, here we can see the Panther, which is also known as the Panzerkampfwagen 5, or Panzerkampfwagen 5, or, basically meaning tank, or combat Panzerkampfwagen, armored tank 5. That's probably the best translation of Panzerkampfwagen 5. So, armored tank 5, which is funny because I can't speak Romanian really, but I'm pretty sure T5 stands for tanke, or tank, or it probably means, like, it's a word that starts with a T that means tank in Romanian, probably like tanki, or something along those lines. So it's pretty funny. You can see that, tanki 3, tanki 4, tanki 5, here tanke de assault. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I really have no idea. I guess it's gonna be something like that. Anyway, we're gonna take a look at all of these in due time. Now we're gonna start off, as always, with the infantry. Here we have the tank man, and I guess they continue with the beret kind of hair cap, or cap. Not really special. Comes with a pistol, a Beretta M1934. If I'm not mistaken, Beretta is an Italian gun maker. So that's interesting. This is a Sternmannlicher, which I think is Austrian. I can be totally wrong. Don't kill me if I am. Interesting helmet. It kind of reminds me of a, it looks a little bit like a German Stahlhelm. Like, the German World War II helmet design. Kind of looks like it, a little bit. Moving on to the rifleman. Comes, of course, with AT grenades instead of where the conscript doesn't. He has a Molotov grenade, and he's armed with the VZ-24 rifle. If I'm not mistaken, the VZ-24 is a Polish rifle. If I'm wrong, please do tell me in the comments, because there's one thing about doing these videos that I probably enjoy most. It's not it's not so much all the comments saying, "Oh, Sherman, thank you," or like, "Sherman, great video," or "Cool that you took a look at my country." Because a lot of people from Romania and France and Hungary and all those countries watch my videos too. It's always nice to see, like, people comment even in their own language, about like how they like that I did a video on their army. It's also cool to read, like, entire articles or people just post, or entire walls of text that people post about stuff I probably will mispronounce or get wrong. Hang on, I didn't take a look at this guy enough. The Orita SMG. That's a weird looking one. It kind of reminds me of the French SMG that's in the game. Of course, he has 2 grenades and a AT grenade, which in this case is another Molotov grenade. Here we have a machine gunner armed with a VZ-30 machine gun, kind of again reminding me of a Polish gun. Pretty rapid fire. Medium reload. Let's do it again. Pretty rapid fire though. That's pretty interesting. He of course has sandbags and machine guns. That's a very weird background picture. Maybe that's just, I'm not sure what that means. That's new. Maybe that's new. I don't know. They did update this game a lot during the last couple of days. This is the Elite SMG, which looks like a PPSH. Now, this looks like a I've got no idea. The guy has body armor. Hang on, is this the? Wait, what? He has body armor? Damn. Romania UOP. I love the I do like the drum mag. This looks a lot like the PPSH or PPSH 41, I think it is. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this because it actually has the same bullet count. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that it's probably a licensed built variant of the PPSH. Although Suomi means Swedish, if I'm not mistaken, or Finnish. I think Suomi means either Finnish. I think it means Finnish in Finnish. I could be wrong, but I have something Suomi think. So maybe this is a Finnish built gun. It looks a lot like the. Damn. You don't want to get hit by that. You won't. That's awesome. He has. Hang on. Let's take a look at these grenades. TNT smoke. This is an RG-34, just like an AP grenade. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. And let's take a look at this weird, like, lollipop almost. That looks. That could definitely do some damage. That almost sounds Greek. Kasapanos. I've got no idea. Honestly, this is I'm actually in, like, I'm shocked. I really hope somebody can give me some background information on the machine gun and on that Kasapanos, which to me sounds a lot like a Greek dish at a local restaurant. Please don't be offended. It's meant in good fun. Is this the Elite Rifleman? Usually comes with a semi-auto rifle. In this case, this is pretty much semi-auto. Doesn't have body armor. It's the ZH-29. Oh, I've got no idea where that comes from. That could be. It looks a lot like a Gewehr 41 or /43. This might be a Gewehr 41 /43 that they licensed to Romania. It'd be cool again to get some background on this because I have no idea. It's not because I'm not interested in it, but because it would take years for me to find out all the information. Whereas you guys can definitely help me out in the comment section, which also gives you guys something to do, I guess. So, you know, it's interaction from both sides. Now we're gonna take a look at this. It's an MG34. It's a Romanian. It's a Russian. It's a German machine gun. So I guess that's just given to them as a machine gun. Here it's a Common Engineers. Comes with a Shermanator. This is the AP version. Sorry, AT version. This is the AT version. That was the AP. This is the AT Mines version. Not gonna take a look at that guy anymore. Here we have a Sapper. Same thing. Same gun. Shermanator. Comes with 2 smoke grenades and a mine detector. We have a PTR, which looks a lot. That's the Karabin Pan. It doesn't. I think it sounds like Panzer rifle. Paradzi Panzerny. Panzerny was Polish for Panzer, so it's probably a Polish AT rifle. That's actually funny because it actually looks like an actual rifle. I just saw that for the first time. Jesus. One thing I can remember though is people told me that they actually use a lot of realistic stuff in GSM. So it'd be interesting to see if this Polish AT rifle is also used by the Romanians. It'd be interesting to hear that in the comment section. A Panzerschreck, obviously given to Romania by the Germans, as the Romanians were one of Germany's allies in World War II, I think. Again, with the Beretta, I'm pretty sure that they were actually an ally. Wow, the accuracy is through the roof. I'm trying to hit this little fence over here, this little shed, little wall. That was a hit. There you go. Comes with a Panzerschreck. That's pretty good. Has Molotov grenades. What's the range on this baby? That's pretty good. 50 meters. Yeah, that's pretty good. Nice ambush. Pistol grenade. I like this unit. This is awesome. A pistol grenade guy. Kampfpistole Z. It sounds a little pretty German, if I'm honest, which means like combat pistol. What's the range on this beauty? 40 meters? It's like about 40 meters. That's a pretty interesting thing. You can definitely have some fun with that. You know, just get like 2 or 3 of these guys and just be an absolute pleb. That's pretty awesome, though. Here's a flamethrower. I'm never gonna take a look at this guy. Just armed with the M2 flamethrower. Nothing really meat that I can say about that, honestly. A sniper, armed with the VZ-24 rifle. Scoped guy looks pretty cool. Nice hat. Sniper looks beast. Especially in this picture. It looks pretty sexy. Nice sniper cap. Apparently it's an officer's cap, but he looks pretty good. Like that. Nothing really special about this. It's just a sniper. I'll move him up. Alright, and we have the radio operator. Same guy as, you know, in every nation. This guy just comes with the nation-specific SMG. In this case, the Orita SMG. Oh, did I just buy one again? That's not good. There we go. And an officer comes in a Kubelwagen. Interesting. Let's have him get out of the car. An officer armed again with the Beretta M1934 and a personal guard with a Orita SMG. Orita, sorry. I like the camo in this one. It looks interesting. It actually still has the Wehrmacht number plate, the WH. I'm pretty sure that would not actually be in the in real life. Maybe it would. I'm not sure how fast they would re-equip the number plates in the car. I don't know. But at least it's a interesting. Officer comes with a pistol and some binoculars. Moving on to squads with the tank crew. Not going to take a look at these guys. These are just the same as tank men, but notice 2 of them. Conscript squads. Again, a full squad of conscripts. Very useful for plugging gaps. You get 10 grenades. You get 10 guys. Pretty good bulk deal. Romanian rifle squad. Here's where the interesting parts start getting in. Rifles, SMGs. Usually it's 5 rifles, 2 SMGs, and 1 machine gun. Let's take a look. This time it's... Oh, wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, this time it's 10 apparently. It's the same machine gun. Comes with 8 rifle guys, 1 SMG guy, which is probably the squad leader, and a guy with a machine gun. Interesting because they all will have AT grenades and stuff, which are Molotov cocktails, but they're still going to be pretty darn good. I'll tell you that for free. And some of them will have more AT grenades. Yes, this guy will have 2. Wait, one guy here had 2. So that's an interesting deal to, I guess, like, you know, engage lighter vehicles with. Romanian assault squad comes with 10 people, has 6 SMGs, 3 rifles, and 1 machine gunner. Let's take a look at these guys. This is just rifles. This is a guy. This is another PPD-40. Looks weird. It sounds exactly like I thought it would. This is, again, a gun that looks a lot like a Russian gun, but it's a squad leader, but only has this gun, by the way. A lot like a Russian gun. Oh, it's actually other people as well. Looks a lot like a Russian PPS, but it has a shorter barrel and like a thicker barrel too. Again, love to hear people comment in the comment section because I do read it all and I try to respond as much as possible. But it's pretty awesome that they like have like I guess like Russian/Finnish. I'm not sure. I think Suomi is Finnish. No, I'm pretty sure because Swedish is Svenska. So I recall my previous segment, and I'm pretty sure Suomi is Finnish for some reason that I've never really understood. You can also comment that in the comment section if you guys have any clue why that is. Moving on to the Romanian Commando squad. These guys look interesting. Semi-auto rifles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, sorry. There you go. And we got 2 guys with MG34s and 2 guys with Panzer Schrecks and... Damn, that's a fucking interesting deal. Jesus Christ, that is interesting as hell. These guys are pretty good. These guys are apparently called Marines. Damn, these guys are beast. Wait, are these guys also called Marines then? Oh, okay, they're all called Marines. All right, well, these guys are pretty darn epic. Let's move this guy up here. So that's a pretty interesting squad. Let's move on to Romanian assault infantry, which is not the commando squad, but the Romanian assault infantry, which will have the body armors. Yes, oh, that's awesome. Holy crap! Except for the 2 guys with the except for the 2 guys that are armed with Panzer Schrecks, the other guys will. So there's 2 guys with Panzer Schrecks and these these guys have PPSs. That's weird. There's These, what the fuck are this? Lahiti Saloranta M26. These are like Italian guns? Those machine guns aren't great. Slow fire rate, slow reload time, I think. Let's see the reload time. Yeah, these aren't the best MGs, but you do get 2 Panzerschrecks, 2 machine guns, and the guys with MP40s. Guys with, again, the Suomi KP, which is probably again, a Finnish gun. Okay, I'm gonna take this guess, and I'm gonna say because Finland fought Russia, and because Finland was a ally of Germany, which in turn means that Germany was an ally of Romania, that the Finnish gave the Germans captured guns, and the Germans then gave the Romanians the captured guns. That's like, that's probably not correct, but I'd like to think it is, because it sounds pretty cool. MP40, it looks pretty nice. Nice model here, damn. That looks pretty darn awesome. Nice model. We got different SMGs. So there's like Suomi guns, there's MP40s, and there's the PPSHs that the guys with the bazookas had. And these guys also all have body armor as well. Really good, actually. Moving on to the Romanian Mechanized squad, which is just the same, I think, as a normal regular squad. But they come with a half-track, which seems to be the normal German half-track, armed with a VZ-53 machine gun. Which sounds beast, has 200 rounds. Looks a lot like a BESA machine gun for the Allies. But it's just a normal squad of infantry, but they come with a half-track, which is interesting. And here, last but not least, is the Sappers. It's just a normal, it's a German Orbital Blitz truck with, you know, engineering supplies and a squad of miners that will also be able to help, well, miners/engineers, which will also be able to help build the fortifications. And inside is a Panzerschreck, some rockets, and a machine gun you can take away, some grenades, interesting stuff, basically. Moving on to the trucks, we got a Studebaker US truck. No idea how they would have Studebaker trucks, honestly. Doesn't seem to be, you can't see him to be looking inside. That is interesting. Definitely nice camo glass they got there. This is a ammo truck. Here we have the Opel Blitz. This truck is also with the same glass. That's really cool. This is an infantry supplies truck. We have a German car, or German fuel truck, and they're going to take a look at it because it's just a German truck. Nothing more to say about it anyway as well. Moving on, we have the Opel Blitz. These are all like the same thing. I'll just call all 3 of them in. Maybe there's a difference between them. Apparently, this looks cool. Looks like a freight truck. This has a couple of warnings because it has ammunition in them. Pretty sure this says like Munition Vorsicht, although it's, I turned down the textures because GSM tends to crash if you have high textures on, which I used to have. And this is a heavy munitions truck. Moving those up. We're now entered the machine guns, anti-aircraft guns, and anti-tank guns tab. Here's the VZ-53 machine gun. Again, this reminds me a lot of the Polish stuff. This has 200 rounds though, I think. Damn. From the back side here, this helmets look a lot like the German ones. Interesting. Very interesting. Nothing really here that's special. You can make some bushes. Nice ammo load of 200 things, I think. That's really good. Moving up to the 13.2 millimeter. This sounds like a French gun because of the MLE in the name. This is just your standard 50 caliber. This is bigger than a 50 cal. 50 cal is 12.7. This is basically in between a 50 cal and a 20 millimeter gun. It will get the job done. I'm pretty sure. Here's a 20 millimeter Guslov AA gun, which I think is just the same as a. Okay, no, it's definitely different. It looks different from the German 20 mils. It does have a nice car. And yeah, it looks like a German 20 mil. Probably it's taken, the design was probably taken off of it, like the car and stuff. But I'm not really sure about that. The 37 millimeter Bofors. This is definitely a gun that they use in the Polish army as well. Pretty sure that I used that in the Mokra defense video. So that's using the normal 37 millimeter AT gun. a 47mm Breda. I think the Breda is an Italian gun, so I will have already talked about this gun, which I'm pretty sure I've already talked about this gun in the Italian video. There's no point in me making another, 10-minute talk about that one. A 50mm packed German anti-tank gun in Romanian colors or Romanian service. Looks pretty good. It's just your average run-of-the-mill German 50mm gun. Not even going to take another actual look at it because that's just a waste of time. I'm losing frames because of all those people there. Maybe I'll just do this for now. Maybe that helps. I don't know. Moving on to the 76mm FK296 gun, which I think is a Russian gun because it's the R, which means it's been captured from Russia, probably by German forward units and then given to the Romanians, which means I will discuss this gun in the Russian video. 75mm PAK 19. This is a heavy anti-tank gun, but a very interesting barrel. I'm not sure what this is. I have not seen this in the vanilla version for the Germans. This might be in the GSM version for the Germans, but this gun looks pretty awesome. Comes with a 75mm shells, but wait, why does it have more? What's the range on this? Is this like a heavy? Is this like a howitzer? Hang on. Oh no, I have no idea what it is. It has a lot of heat, but no idea what this is supposed to be. It has a very interesting, cool-looking barrel. That looks awesome. That looks very awesome. Muzzle brake. All right, moving up to the 75mm Vickers AA gun, towed by Studebaker. This is just a British AA gun. I'm not going to take a look at it because I will take a look at it in the British video, which I'll make in due time. Moving on to the 75mm Recita Mod 1943. No idea what this is. This might be one of their own guns, or this looks a lot like a Russian divisionary gun, the 76mm Zis 3, I want to say. Damn, that was a heavy shot. But then with a 75, so I'm not sure what this is. But damn sure looks interesting. Love the colors. Decent reload speed. This is definitely an interesting piece of artillery. Let's move them up there. The last one, well known by Russian players, the BS3. Probably one of the better AT guns in the game. Very good. I'm not going to take a look at it right now because it's in the Russian 3, so I'm just going to move it up. Artillery and mortars, the German Granatwerfer, or Werfer, Granatwerfer, and 34. I'm not going to take a look at it because it's German. I will take a look at it later. The Recita Mortar. Wait, where the fuck is this guy going? Come on, move up. This looks awesome. This is a 120mm mortar. Let's just fire it and see what happens. Damn! Oh, I just blew up a truck. I'm sorry. They're just saying, which reminds me of this. This might be Romanian. This might be Russian. I have no idea. I think it's Russian. Or sorry, I think it's Romanian. If it's Russian, though, there was a saying I read once that said it was basically like Russian propaganda, or maybe it was the truth. I have no idea. But it said one in every like 3 soldiers has the Iron Cross. One of every 3 German soldiers has the Iron Cross. 1 in every 3 Russian soldiers has a heavy mortar. Of course, this wasn't really true, but apparently, I read this in like a book about German snipers, I think, which had that line, which meant that the Germans were very afraid of their Russian heavy mortars. This is a quote from a book, so don't kill me when it's not true. 75mm Schneider mountain gun, is that what it said? Yeah, this is a gun probably I've seen before. It's a World War I gun, obviously. It's probably pre-World War. It seems 1908. My sincere apologies for the weird cut in the video. Welcome to Assault Squad 2, and I guess one of the mod developers told me that this game only uses 2 GB of RAM at the max, which for a game that looks pretty good. Look at this. Hang on, look at this. Doesn't this? I think this looks awesome. Like, imagine like infantry fighting here and there, and like rockets and artillery and planes flying over, and like tanks driving through the water, and panthers like shooting from one end to the other, and like a T-34 here shooting over here, and a rocket ship. It's a rocket ship or whatever. You get my point. This game just looks amazing, I think. It's not the best looking game, but it's interesting, especially in the World War II RTS market. There's not a lot of games that look this good and play this well. Long story short is, I'm sorry for this entire story. I know you're here for the Romanian video, of course. Otherwise, you wouldn't click on this video to begin with. I'm so sorry. What I want to say is that I crashed again for like the third time trying to make this video. So I do apologize for the weird cut. And I'll just jump straight back in where I left off, which was at the Snyder. Hang on, it's over here. Nothing really special. It's an artillery piece, so a low DHE. It's a World War One, pre-World War One gun, I think. If that's the if 1906, 1909 is the year of development. Very slow. It's just a, well, I guess it's a stand-in artillery piece. It's a one-shot, and you can then it reloads pretty quickly. It's just a way to get rid of a defensive position. Moving up to the 122mm gun. This is a gun we've already seen with the French and the Italians. I'm not going to bother, showing you right now. It's just a waste of your time, of my time. Same goes for this one again. Also already shown is pretty much with the French. And also wouldn't be surprised if I've already shown it with the Italians. Pretty sure with the French because this is a French piece of artillery. But I'll just show you how awesome that looked. There you go. That looked pretty cool. Alright, moving these up. Sorry for skipping through these, but there's no point in making a video of them, obviously. If you've, I've already seen them a billion times. This is the Grill, which means that it's a German tank. It's a artillery piece on the chassis of a Panzerkampfwagen 38, but it's German, so I'm gonna skip it, and you'll see it in the German video. Interesting, has a 150mm gun though. Damn. Last but not least, a BM13N. I'll fire it. Just for why not? That was awesome. Let's fire it again. That sound was awesome, but I think it's a Russian artillery piece, so we'll just have to wait until we get to the Russian video to show it to you. The T-20 Komsomolets, again, a Russian tractor. Not going to bother showing it to you because it would just make my life harder. I'm kind of an asshole. The Auto Blidna, it's an Italian tank, I think. Wasn't this Italian? Yeah, it's a Breda, and it has Breda guns and Breda machine guns. I'm not going to skip it since you've already done this in the Italian video. If you want to see all of these, don't be afraid. Just go to the videos in the playlist in the description, or just in the playlist, and you'll be able to see all of these, and I will have taken a look at all of them in their respective nations. The BA-10, there's an armored car. Pretty sure it's going to be in the Russian tech tree, or in the Russian Bible tree. Nothing really special. 50mm of armor. This is a useless piece of crap anywhere beyond like the first couple of minutes. And a Panzerspielwagen Panhard, which, if I'm mistaken, was also used by the French. And it says there it's a F in brackets, which means it's captured from the French, probably by the Germans, then given to the Romanians, as the Germans had no idea what to do with this piece of crap. Moving on to the light tanks, you have the R1, which I think might just mean Romanian one. I have no idea. Interesting light tank, 12mm of armor. Does have two machine guns, one in a very weird position over here. Moving on, we have a R2, taking away a lot for a Panzer 35. So I'm going to be surprised if this is actual like a Panzer 35 idea. But honestly, comment section, please do help me. I do like the little Romanian sign here, which is pretty bad quality. And again, it's on medium quality settings because the game already crashes on medium, let alone on high. What the fuck is that a gun? No. Where's the what? Somebody needs to tell me what the fuck this is. It looks like a giant dildo. That's weird. Damn. Don't Google dildo, by the way. T-26, I know this is in a Russian tech tree, and I'm going to take a look at it. Just bought it for hell. BT-7M, same point. T-38. This is a Panzer 38 T, I'm pretty sure, from the Germans. Stolen from the Czechoslovakians. Oh, we're going to Czechoslovakians. I'm going to push that around. I'm going to take a look at it. Same goes for the R35. Probably, again, stolen from the French in the earlier days of the Blitzkrieg. They gave them to the Hungarians. To the Romanians. Sorry, my apologies. To the Romanians as a, here's a tank you can use. Pretty good armor. 45mm is still pretty good armor, I must say. Here comes the interesting part. T-34-76. This is going to be a short video, I guess, because this is, again, a Russian tank. So I'm going to move that out of the way. A Panzer III with a 75mm short-barreled stubby gun. Moving him out of the way because there's no point in doing that. Panzer IV-G, same idea. D-34-85, same idea. Panzerwagen 5, same idea. So that's pretty fast. This is interesting, though. These are Romanian tank destroyers, and they are apparently made by removing the turret of captured T-60 tanks and using a 76mm captured Russian gun in its place. So this is basically a Russian T-60 with a Russian field gun on it, and it looks pretty awesome. Look at that look at that like rotation speed. I love this. This is an awesome piece of engineering. Let's see how fast it can go. 34. Let's see if it can, like, let's double tap it there. That's okay. That goes pretty fast. I'll take one. A Sturmgeschütz 3. Not gonna take a look at it. Kins, it's German. Nice camo though. A Maréchal, which I have to read up on the information. Looks a lot like a Hetzer. What? A captured 122mm gun on a captured T-60 platform or carriage, and now with the same gun. Oh, this is actually, it's another 122 with a 75mm gun, which is apparently done by, again, this is a T-60 that has been widened. They put on the same, like, plating as they put on the Hetzer almost. This looks awesome. This is an awesome little beat. Look at that rotation speed. Holy crap. You could race in this. This is a cute little tank. No armor. Absolutely no armor. But maybe if God is good, he will have given this tank some protection in the form of angling of the armor, which I doubt though, sadly enough. But damn, this is interesting. Yeah, it looks awesome. Look at that. Like, you could, oh, look at that. Look at that. It's an actual turtle now, boys. Oh, I love this. This is a funny tank. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's move him up. This is cool. Alright. Interesting, interesting. Moving on to the Takam 3. I guess it's an upgrade. It is a, again, a German design. Well, it's not a German design. It's a Czechoslovakian design with a German gun on it, as we'll see here. It's basically, it's the Mortars 3, but then with Romanian colors on it. Here is another Stug 3, this time with a long barrel gun instead of a stubby short barrel gun. I like the details, look at the stuff in the back and stuff. That's pretty awesome. Let's fire this. That looks pretty cool. I like this. This is awesome. I like that. I like that gun. I like that, you know, stuff on the back. Extra tracks, extra, I don't know, like fuel and stuff. And last but not least, a Yak Panzer IV for the Romanians. Again, I'm not going to take a look at this really, because it's just a Yak Panzer IV under, you know, going for Hungary instead of sort of working for, I keep fucking those up, sorry, working for Romania instead of for Germany. But yeah, that's basically the video. I would like to hear a lot of information from you guys, if possible, on the tanks I just mentioned and on the infantry I mentioned earlier, especially on the guns like the Suomi gun, which I'm pretty sure still means Finnish gun, which I would love to hear the story about that, you know, like a Russian gun captured by the Finnish during the Winter War and then given to Germany as the Finnish were allies of Germany, and then given to Hungary and Romania as they were allies of Germany in the fight against Russia. Anyway, I have no idea if that's the case, or I'm just making it one of the best lies of history. I would like to believe it is a nice story though. As always, do hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao! You claim this love that you never started. You once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what